Hey everyone, and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today for this explainer. We're going to be taking a structured, really close look at a fascinating and frankly, essential topic: 10 financial traps and the path to wealth. So let's just dive right into the core mystery that so many people are facing today. Have you ever wondered why some people who earn a genuinely high income still seem to constantly struggle financially? I mean, it's a paradox, right? You would totally think that making more money automatically equals building more wealth. But as we're going to see today, that equation is fundamentally flawed.
So, why exactly do high earners struggle? Well, the answer really isn't about the size of the paycheck. It's actually about the subtle, everyday money mistakes that people make without even realizing it. These habits quietly drain accounts and just keep people from ever reaching true financial freedom. So today, we're going to look closely at these traps, break them all down, and give you the exact understanding you need to avoid them.
We are looking at 10 common money mistakes that are literally keeping people poor. But don't worry, we aren't just going to list them out like a textbook. We're organizing these traps into a journey. I want you to think of your financial life like a bucket. If you've got holes in the bottom, it doesn't matter how much water or income you pour in, it's always going to leak right back out. So our journey today is all about fixing that leaky bucket, taking you from basic financial survival all the way to absolute financial mastery.
All right, let's kick things off with phase one, plugging the leaks. We're talking cash flow and spending traps.
Okay, so one of the absolute fastest ways to stay broke is living beyond your means, and specifically, buying things just to impress people you probably don't even know or maybe don't even like. It is a massive leak in your bucket. The foundational step to building wealth is so simple, yet incredibly difficult for a lot of us. You have to spend less than you earn and consistently save the difference.
Now, you might be wondering, how do you actually make sure you're saving that difference? Well, you avoid the trap of not having a budget. Now, I know the B word can sound restrictive, but a realistic monthly budget is simply a tool to track your income and expenses. If you don't know where your money goes every single month, it's pretty much impossible to build wealth because your cash flow is a complete mystery. By tracking what comes in and what goes out, you plug one of the most dangerous invisible leaks out there. And you know, that lack of tracking leads straight into our next trap: buying things you don't actually need. We've all been there, right? Impulse purchases, like that 1 a.m. online shopping spree where you suddenly decide you absolutely must have a specialized artisanal espresso machine. Look, it might feel great in the moment, but it acts as a massive drag on your financial progress. You have to build the habit of pausing before you buy and just asking yourself, is this truly necessary? Next time you're hovering over that buy button, just take a breath. It is a tiny habit, but man, it stops a major leak.
Moving right along to phase two, securing the bucket. This is all about debt and building your safety net.
Now that we've patched up those daily leaks, we've got to look at the trap of ignoring an emergency fund. Look, life happens. Unexpected expenses happen to absolutely everyone. A car breaks down, a random medical bill pops up. But without emergency savings, so many people are forced to rely on debt to cover those surprises, and that creates a vicious cycle. The fix here is to aim to gradually build a fund that can cover several months of your essential expenses. Think of it as your financial shield.
Because without that safety net, you are so likely to fall into the trap of high-interest debt. Think about how fast expensive credit card balances compound compared to standard, stagnant savings. It's wildly disproportionate, and it can effectively crush your entire financial plan. Focusing on reducing that high-interest debt is absolutely vital if you want to actually secure your bucket.
Okay, time to go on the offensive. Phase 3, filling it faster. We're getting into investing and multiple income streams. A massive, massive trap here is waiting too long to invest. There's this huge myth out there that you need thousands and thousands of dollars just to get started. Totally false. In reality, you just need to start early, even if it's with really small amounts. The power of compounding time in the market makes a much, much more meaningful difference than sitting around waiting for some perfect large sum of cash.
Now think about the number one. In wealth building, depending on just one single source of income is a critical vulnerability. If something happens to that one job or that one revenue stream, your entire financial foundation is shaken. It creates a highly fragile single point of failure.
To fix that, you must systematically develop additional income streams over time. You've got to diversify. This could look like taking on some freelance work on the side, utilizing investing to generate returns, or maybe starting a small business. By adding different streams of water into your bucket, you are drastically reducing your overall risk.
Now for the final piece of the puzzle. Phase 4, Mastering the Psychology of Wealth. This is all about education and goals.
A trap that holds so many people back is simply not learning about money. Guys, financial education is literally the highest ROI investment you can make in yourself. Read books, watch structured explainers just like this one, and continuously improve. Your wealth is only going to grow as much as your financial literacy does.
And part of that education is learning to spot the get-rich-quick trap. We see it all the time, right? But chasing promises of guaranteed or wildly unrealistic returns almost always ends in disaster. True wealth building requires patience, discipline, and consistent effort. It is a marathon for sure, not a sprint.
So how do you actually maintain that discipline? By avoiding our final trap, not setting financial goals. Without goals, you completely lose your direction. You need a step-by-step ladder. Things like save your first $1,000, then become debt-free, then build an investment portfolio, and finally, plan for retirement. Doing it this way ensures you always know exactly what you're striving for.
All right, let's bring it all home. The path forward. Final takeaways for financial health.
To really secure your long-term financial health, you've got to make these habits non-negotiable. Spend less than you earn. Save consistently. Let time do the heavy lifting with long-term investments. Keep expanding your mind and regularly review your goals. Small, deliberate improvements today are going to compound into massive financial strength tomorrow.
I want to leave you with one final thought to reflect on today. Which of these money mistakes have you made, and what lesson did you learn from it? Honestly, we all make them, but analyzing our own behaviors is the very first step toward true financial freedom. Figure out where your leaks are and start plugging them today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning and keep fueling your financial future.